Hello and welcome to another Amonkhet Draft League. I think this is number 14. I meant to make a joke last time about lucky number 13 and I didn't do it, and that makes me sad. But 14. Lucky number 14. We've opened up a not crazy exciting pack, but there are some powerful cards. Magma Spray is just great, so is Bone Picker, and I think Crocodile Crossing is a somewhat distant third, although I think it's reasonable too. I also like Cartouche of Knowledge, Wanderer Death, Vizier. None of those are getting played here, though. Well, none of them are getting picked here. So it's really between Magma Spray and Bone Picker, I think. I think Magma Spray is actually more what we want. Bone Picker is a very powerful, very efficient card, but Magma Spray is so cheaply costed and it deals with so many of the aggressive threats of the format. I think that's what we want here. I also think red is marginally better than black, although... Actually, you see a bunch of powerful stuff here. I really like to Stir the Sands. We picked up the Bone Picker. That would have been a great pick here. Alternatively, we have Emberhorn Minotaur and not tons else. I like Soul Stinger fine. I like Blade Bat fine. I think I am going to take the Stir the Sands. I think it's powerful, or enough more powerful than Emberhorn Marauder or Minotaur that I want it. Although... it's reasonably close. I feel like anytime I cast Stir the Sands for the whole 6, we just win the game, and the fact that you can cycle it is pretty powerful too. It's a combat trick that replaces itself. I think I'm gonna take the Stir the Sands here. Okay. Less in this pack. We have a Vizier of Deferment, which is pretty powerful. I'm not wild about Grimstrider, not wild about Ronus's Monument. Everything else here seems pretty suspect. I think I'm going to take the Vizier and just kind of keep our options open, going into the rest of our picks. The Cultivators, yeah, kind of unexciting. Mighty Leap, Impeccable Timing are both fine. Like, there's a bunch of cards that are playable, but nothing that really wants, like, we're dying to play. We'll take the Vizier. I think it's highest power level. Let's see where that takes us. Okay. Not wild about Oracle's Vault. We have a bit of a choice here. I do like the Retcrop Spearmaster well enough. I like to Cursed Minotaur and Soul Stinger. If we end up in a black-white zombies deck and we end up abandoning the Magma Spray, that the Minotaur ends up being better, and white-black almost always ends up with a zombies theme. I think I played one deck where it didn't and it felt kind of unimpressive. I think that the Cursed Minotaur and the Spearmaster are comparable, so I think I'm going to take the Spearmaster, or sorry, the Minotaur here. Just because it's a little bit more synergistic if we do end up in white-black. Okay, well, all three colors seem reasonably open. Emberhorn Minotaur is definitely better than Miasmic Mummy, the Winged Shepherd Supply Caravan, but they're both okay as well. A couple of reasonable blue cards too, Shimmer Scale Drake and Winds of Rebuke, but I think we just take the Minotaur here and are not super unhappy. Okay, this is our first pick that we're maybe not crazy excited about. And I really don't know what to pick color-wise. Fling is pretty replaceable. Don't like Flame Blade Adept. Still not wild about Ronus's Monument. Guess maybe we pick up with Those Who Serve. If you're playing zombies, I think this card is perfectly serviceable. Yeah, I think we'll take that. We haven't really been forced to choose yet, and that's okay. Alright. So here we have... said we weren't forced to choose. Now we have a bit of a choice. Cartouche of Solidarity is perfectly fine, especially if we end up in a more aggressive deck, although we haven't seen any 2-drops really to speak of other than the Miasmic Mummy at this point. And I really think that the deck is at its best when you're beating down hard and fast. I think Manticore the Gauntlet is pretty replaceable, although I think it's fine. I think I'm going to take the Miasmic Mummy here. It's a little bit close, but I think I want some 2-drops, and it's pretty reasonable. Okay. Yeah, maybe we're slowly moving towards zombies here. Catcher's Name's not a bad pickup. Not wild about Supply Caravan, but if you do end up in the zombies deck, having an Catcher's Name is pretty great. Here we have, I guess, Pursue Glory? Trail the Accursed is fine, but I feel like you can get them pretty late and you only ever want one. I don't think I ever really like Anointer Priest. This card has just been very unimpressive every time I've seen it. To be fair, I haven't played it in the format, but I have played against it and it never really seems like it does that much work. guess I'll take a Pursuit of Glory, although probably not hoping to pick that up here. And I guess, so are we abandoning red? It seems like all three colors are a little bit open. Black maybe fell off a little bit, so did white. I guess the question here is probably between Kenra and a Mighty Leap. I think we'll take the Mighty Leap. I think maybe we're slowly moving away from red. And there's another Mighty Leap. It's a little bit unfortunate. I guess we'll take it here, though. Yeah, I was gonna say, there were a billion Blazing Volleys, so I thought maybe we could get another one. Supply Caravan can be okay. Alright, Blazing Volley.deck. Well, on the plus side, we have three colors that if we open a bomb, we can maybe kind of force our way in there. We have a bunch of reasonable cards, but nothing real crazy. Kind of one premier card, although I think the Vizier is a little bit worse than Sir of the Sand and Magma Spray in each color. And a couple of other kind of, okay, passable, playable cards. Seemed like that pack had lots of okay but not exciting cards. Alright, well, Liliana's Mastery is definitely a bomb, and it's even in kind of the zombies format. So I think we're going to take that here and not look back. We have a couple of other pretty good picks. I think Angler Drake is just a bomb, but it's in blue, and we're definitely not there. I like Curse Minotaur, Thresher Lizard, Talkrop Elite. Those are all fine cards, but nothing that's close to Liliana's Mastery here. Okay, here we have Mount the Feet, which is powerful for sure, and Exemplar Strength, a couple of really good green options. A Yena pack, which is unexciting. I think we're probably in white, black. It's probably enough of a selling point. I mean, if one of the two colors really dries up, we could still revitalize red, but I think that's the path we're going here. So in that case, we've got Soul Stinger or Winged Shepherd. I think Soul Stinger is better. Let's look at our curve now, but yeah, we actually don't have 4s yet. So I think we're okay with that. Do need to pick up a couple more 2-drops. Ooh, Lord of the Accursed is nice here. I was going to say we haven't seen too many zombie payoff cards other than the Mastery, which we opened, but getting past Lord of the Accursed is pretty great for us. We'll have to focus on picking up zombies from here on out, but that's not usually too difficult in this color combination. Okay, Time to Reflect. Or Fan Bearer. Time to Reflect does come around late sometimes. This would have to be pretty late. It would have to be one of the last 4 cards in the pack. It's possible, though. Fan Bearer is pretty fantastic. I think that's gotta be what we pick here. Wasteland Scorpion we'd play for sure. Grimstrider maybe. Horror maybe. But Fan Bearer's a great pickup. Okay, less here. I guess we take a Cartouche of Solidarity. This probably makes our main deck. We might say it boarded out if our opponent has some aggressive bounce or a lot of removal, but it's okay. Maybe not what we're really hoping for. Anointer Priest, I guess, over an Unburdened. Although I think Unburdened's fine. A lot of the time, I feel like I'm just not. This always feels like one of the worst things I can do in the format. It's not quite slow enough. It really gets going. So, yeah. It's an early Anointer Priest. Not a card I'm wild about, but... Ooh, okay. Here we have another Cartouche of Solidarity, which, again, I think is fine, but not crazy. Spearmaster or a Soul Stinger. None of them have real good zombie synergy. Probably a Soul Stinger is best. This deck does have a couple of minor sacrifice themes, like it's good to be able to put this on a Festering Mummy or the Deserter. You have a really big Soul Stinger in some instances. I think that's the pickup. This might be incorrect. I think those 3 are pretty close, but... Oh wow, that's a late Talkrop Elite. We do have a Festering Mummy and a Those Who Serve, though. I think in a vacuum, Talkrop Elite is just miles better. These are zombie synergy cards, which we don't have tons of. We have 2 things that give all of our zombies a bonus right now. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zombie cards, 6 zombie cards. I guess that's not terrible. Don't want another Inno-Catcher's Name. I think I'm gonna take the Talkrop Elite. I think it's high enough power level, I should just take it over the other cards. I think that's a close pick too, though. Oh wow, another one. I maybe we should pick one of the zombies then, but hard to know. I think Sacred Cat's actually probably okay in this deck. I think that's the first time I've ever said that, but if you're embalming it, and it's a pretty good stumbling block early on for opponents, and that turns into a pretty reasonably sized threat, take another one over Supply Caravan. Trespasser's Curse, I don't think I ever want to sideboard that. I have gotten destroyed by that card a couple of times, but it's usually bad when my opponent plays it. If they drop it on turn 2 and you have kind of a clunky draw, it can do some serious work, but... Alright, well, I think the deck is coming together some. It's not the craziest version we've seen. We haven't seen any Wayward Servants, no Binding Mummies. Leon's Mastery and Lord of the Accursed do some pretty good things, and Stir the Sands is a powerful card, but we definitely use a couple more payoffs. Ooh, Vizier the Menagerie. Man, that's a great card. We have a lot of good cards here, but nothing that really kills us. I guess we take the Gustwalker. I like it better than the Crop Mate. Probably better than the Curse Minotaur, even with the synergies. Well, maybe not. Gustwalker is very impressive. This card just beats for a lot very quickly. It is a 2-drop. I think more zombies is pretty reasonable. I think we're going to take the Gustwalker. I feel a little bit bad because at every turn we're picking against the synergy, but I think it's probably still better. Alright. I am not opposed to a Labor of the Heart. We're actually kind of lacking on removal here. It's probably less likely to come around than Doom Dissenter, but the Doom Dissenter seems really good in this deck. We have a couple of Soul Stingers, a lot of ways to pump zombies. It's just going to be kind of a hard card for my opponent to interact with favorably. I think it's better enough than the Labor of the Heart, and I'm going to pick it up here. Even though the Heart sort of pretends like it's removal. Wow, this is a good green, good red pack. Do we want another No Catcher's Name? Don't really feel like we do. Don't really want a horror though either. I guess the horror cycles. Kind of a throwaway pick. I don't really think we're gonna play either. Okay. Wow. We have another Vizier of Deferment. I think is pretty reasonable, although not absurd, certainly. A Doom Dissenter, Miasmic Mummy. And a Talk Drop Elite, although I don't think I'm actually going to take another one here. I think these do have some diminishing returns. I really like hitting one, but sometimes if you have a bunch in your opening hand or whatever, it is kind of slow. It is a 4-drop, but it's a powerful 4-drop. I think the Doom Dissenter, wow, this is close. I think I'm going to take the Vizier. I think it's likely we wheel either the Doom Dissenter or the Miasmic Mummy. That is a little bit tight. Now there we have another Doom Dissenter and Those Who Serve, both of which I think are reasonable. We also have Start to Finish though, which is not a zombie synergy card, but is removal, and we do need removal. I think we're going to pick that up here. Not tons here. I guess we take a Doom Beetle. I think we actually have a pretty good, what's the right word? I guess we have a lot of speed bumps for opponents, so I don't know if we'll ever want to sign in a Doom Beetle, but I don't think we're ever going to want 2 horrors here, especially with as little cycling as we've got going on. I think that card can be pretty good in some decks. This just is not really one of them. Like, I would much rather have a Winged Shepherd. And I don't need another Anointed Priest, I don't think. I guess we do have a lot of ways to interact with creature tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Yeah, well, actually maybe Anointed Priest isn't that bad. We have a lot. Like a lot. And it does turn into a zombie. Yeah, maybe it's better in this deck than I was giving it credit for. Okay. A bunch of cards would be okay playing. I'm not opposed to a Festering Mummy. I don't think we need the Miasmic Mummy. We actually haven't seen... Or we've got a reasonable number of 2-drops right now. Sparring Mummy is only okay. I don't know. I think this is a little bit close. I think I'm going to take the Festering Mummy, actually. I think the 1/1 for 1 actually is more relevant in this deck than it often is. Okay. Guess I'll take a DiGiorno's Resolve over anything else. The fact that that's a Merciless Javeliners coming around this late is a true crime, but that's what we can do here. Alright, Labor of the Heart. And Catcher's Name. So if we want a second, we can have it. And a Doom Dissenter. And another Doom Dissenter. We got a lot of those. Alright, well, the deck is maybe a little bit clunky. Again, we would have really liked to have another zombie payoff. And I don't know if there was another person at the table that was thinking about zombies, but we did not see any Wayward Serpents or any Binding Mummies. I don't think we ever had a chance to pick one up, so we are definitely going to be in the more grindy, build-up version of the deck. I don't know if we're going to be quite proactive enough. Things like that make me want to play Mighty Leap, just to get in for a little bit. And having some combat tricks to get past opposing defenders might be pretty important. What do we have that combos with Vizier? Not much, right? It's your die effect. A lot of our stuff are going to be tokens that we don't want to flicker necessarily. You can always remove an opponent's attacker. Supply Caravan seems kind of unexciting. A couple of Talk Up Elites. I think I like all of our top end there. I have a lot of Doom Dissenters now, which are pretty reasonable. Probably, well, maybe Catcher's Name is our win condition actually, so maybe we don't want to pull that. If we have that though, maybe 2 Mighty Leaps is a bit much. What are the cartouches good in this deck? It's funny, this card has simultaneously wrecked me and appears to be very low impact. Creating a creature token is kind of unexciting. +1/+1 first strike is also kind of unexciting. Maybe we'll sideboard it in if we think that we can get through with it and we haven't seen tons of removal from our opponent. Alright, let's pull out creatures and non-creatures here. So I pulled down our creature token producers as well, and we have a lot of creatures in this deck right now. So I think we'll probably keep these and maybe cut everything else. I like having the one combat trick. I think 2 Catcher's Name is probably important because, like I said, I think that's kind of how we manage to get in and win this game, or beat our opponents, is a bunch of little token creatures and some really big anthem effects. I think we're going to take out, do we like Sacred Cat or Festering Mummy better? Probably the Festering Mummy. Take out 1 Sacred Cat, and kind of like our curve here. I wonder if we want to try and get away playing fewer lands. We're going to be pretty grindy, and we don't have anything that, or very few things that late game we can pump, like things like Stir the Sands and Start to Finish, although this is kind of a 3-cost card. We do like hitting Liliana's Mastery is a big deal for us, so maybe running 16 is just kind of sketchy. But I can see us flooding pretty hard in this deck and not having tons to do with it. I guess we have like a Fan Bearer. Alright. So I think we do want to cut 3 cards. So maybe a Vizier. It's only fantastic if our opponent's playing lots of combat tricks, although it is very good in that instance. I like the zombie synergies with those. I like the Soul Stingers. The fact that they turn these into zombies and become huge on their own is pretty relevant. Maybe Miasmic Mummy. And 1 more cut. Probably a top end card. Maybe Sacred Cat just isn't that fantastic on its own. Although then you can make the argument with Festering Mummy too. We have a lot of early game roadblock though for our opponent. Yeah, I think it's one of those two. Do I want to run the cat or the mummy? Probably, I don't know. Cat. We're cutting cat. Okay, I think we are going to play a Cradle of Cursed. That's a pretty good way to mitigate flood, and it even has some good synergies with this deck. And I think I do like 8 and 8. Alright, that's the deck. Zombies without any Wayward Servants or any Binding Mummies. I did not think that deck existed. but we're gonna give it a shot. I'll see you guys in match 1.